The students of Arcturus Academy gathered in the shimmering amphitheater, their sleek exosuits polished and glowing. Hollow drones floated above, capturing every angle for the Academy's records. Today was the beginning of the survival proving grounds, a trial every cadet had to endure before graduation. When Yarrick stepped forward, the room erupted in muffled laughter. He wore no exosuit, no shimmering survival armor, and carried no high-tech plasma cutter or portable AI drone. Instead, slung over his shoulder was a battered, canvas backpack. The kind that looked centuries out of date, stitched by hand, its fabric stained by age and use. "Did your ancestors dig that out of a museum?" one cadet snickered. "Maybe he thinks nostalgia will scare the predators," another chimed in. Yarrick ignored them. He had grown up on Erythros, a Class 15 death world where storms could shred steel and the ground itself seemed to hunger. To him, this wasn't a test. It was just familiar. The instructor, a towering Ketheri alien with 4 arms and silver eyes, raised his staff. "Enough. The proving ground awaits. Survive 1 week, and you pass. Fail, and the wilds will decide your fate." With a sweep of light, the cadets were transported to the simulation zone, a massive biome filled with hostile terrain, roaming beasts, and unpredictable hazards. The others activated their exosuits immediately. Shields shimmered, automaps blinked to life, and drones deployed in neat formation. Yarrick simply adjusted the straps of his old backpack and walked into the dense alien forest. By the second day, things began to change. The Academy's carefully designed ecosystem shifted into chaos. A predator, the size of a hover car with translucent skin and jagged fangs, ambushed a group of cadets. Their exosuits flared, shields cracking under the assault. Plasma rifles hissed and drones screamed, but panic spread faster than discipline. Half the team scattered, their technology struggling against a creature that evolved in environments harsher than simulations could predict. Yarrick, hearing the chaos, moved quietly through the underbrush. From his backpack he pulled a length of cord, a sharpened shard of alloy, and a bundle of dried root fibers he'd collected earlier. With swift, practiced hands, he fashioned a snare trap between 2 trees. Moments later, he ignited a small fire using friction, smoke spiraling upward. The predator, drawn to the movement, lunged straight into the trap. It snarled, thrashing violently, but the snare tightened with every pull. Yarrick calmly approached, eyes sharp, and drove the alloy shard into the beast's soft throat. It collapsed with a shuddering roar. When the scattered cadets regrouped hours later, hungry and shaken, they found Yarrick calmly roasting strips of meat over the fire. "Food," he said simply, tossing a piece toward the nearest cadet. They stared at him, speechless. Their auto-cookers had malfunctioned after losing power. Their drones had burned out trying to hold off the beast. But Yarrick had done it with sticks, rope, and a knife. By day 4, the jungle itself turned hostile. Razor-leafed plants emitted toxic spores, and the cadets' exosuit filters clogged. One by one, their systems beeped warnings. A few collapsed, hacking and gasping. Yarrick, however, reached into his backpack again. He retrieved cloth strips and soaked them in a resin he had collected from a tree earlier. "Cover your mouths with these," he instructed. "The resin neutralizes the spores." Skeptical but desperate, the cadets obeyed. To their astonishment, the coughing stopped, and their lungs cleared enough to keep moving. The laughter from the first day was gone. Now, they followed him. On the 7th morning, the Academy recalled the survivors. The cadets stumbled out, their once polished armor scratched, dented, and barely functional. Their drones floated in broken pieces, and their pride had long since vanished. Yarrick emerged last, calm and steady, the same old backpack slung over his shoulder. The Ketheri instructor regarded him with something rare, respect. "Technology failed them," he said. "You did not." "Explain." Yarrick shrugged. "Back home, there are no exosuits. You learn to survive with what you carry. Sometimes that's just a pack and what you put inside it. The instructor's silver eyes gleamed. The academy teaches skill. But you, human, you remind us what survival truly means. The cadets, once mocking, now stood in silent awe. The backpack they had laughed at now seemed heavier than all their gleaming tech combined, because inside it was not just tools, but knowledge, grit, and the will to endure. Yarrick tightened the straps, ready for whatever came next. For in the galaxy's deadliest places, it wasn't technology that mattered most. It was the human carrying the pack.